Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well as always. For today's video, we are doing another spring polygel set and we are getting right into our nail tip sizing. These are the extra long square nail tips from Shein and they kind of had a weird plastic smell to them, and they are a little bit thin, but for this nail set I didn't mind the quality of it, I guess, because I am just going to pop these off and we are really just practicing our polygel in this video. For our peel off base coat, I am just using the DIY method of cuticle oil and top coat. So I'm just going to apply the cuticle oil first, rub that in my nail bed, and then put a coat of top coat on and cure for about 60 seconds. For the nail tip application, I'm going to be using some base coat and I'm going to flash cure these for about 10 to 15 seconds. And I just wanted to show you guys how thin and bendy these were. So just to keep that in mind if you do happen to purchase these while you're practicing nails. So I'm just going to apply this base coat and put on the nail, flash cure for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then once all the nails have been flash cured, I'm going to put my hand under the bigger UV lamp and cure for about 60 seconds. gel polish, we are going to be using these pastel colors from Makartt. And I have had these for a while, but if they are still available on Amazon, which I would assume they would be, I will leave them in the description box. So I'm just going to be taking these colors and applying 2 coats of each of the colors, curing for 60 seconds in between each coat. For our encapsulated glitters, I'll be using these pretty butterfly glitters. And here I am just applying a thin coat of this base gel. You can use base coat also. I've used base coat before. Base gel is just a little bit thicker. And so I'm just taking these little glitters and just kind of placing them where I just kind of want them to be. And this is uncured base gel, so don't cure it yet. Place your glitters on before you cure. And then once I'm satisfied with the placement of these glitters, I'm just going to flash cure it for about 10 seconds. That way I can just move on to the remaining nails. And then once they're all flash cured and set in place, I'll cure these for 60 seconds under the UV lamp. Before we apply our polygel, because we are going to do an ombre, I'm just going to take this base gel and put a pretty good amount of it on top of the glitters, only because I want the polygel to have a smooth surface for the ombre effect. I don't want any glitters poking out into our ombre, so I'm kind of just flooding this, covering up the glitters, not too thick. So just make sure before curing that you wipe the edges, that way there's no overflow and you won't have to spend too much time filing. So I'm going to continue to do this to all the nails, and surprise surprise, I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds. I think 60 seconds is always my go-to because I always just want to make sure that everything is fully cured. So yes, 60 seconds. Once you're done kind of covering up those glitters, as you can see there's not really any of them that are poking out. ombre, we are just going to be applying one bead of this to each of the nails. And as you can see, I didn't get my brush too wet. I pretty much just kind of like tapped the alcohol and wiped off anything that may have dripped off the brush before applying it to the polygel, because we are working close to our cuticle and we definitely don't want our cuticle to flood and get any like alcohol polygel mixture on our skin. So just make sure that you're constantly cleaning around the cuticle and making sure that the sides stay pretty tight. That way you don't have to spend too much time filing your nails. So I'm pretty much just patting and smoothing out the polygel, and at this point the brush is more on the drier side, and you want the brush to be on the more drier side for the ombre specifically, because if the brush is too wet, you're pretty much just going to be like smoothing out the polygel and the brush is going to just slip right off of the polygel. But because we're trying to move the polygel, you want the brush to be a little more on the drier side for that seamless ombre look. And then once I'm satisfied with the way the ombre looks, I just dip my brush into the alcohol and kind of just smooth everything out. That way everything's really seamless. There's no harsh lines, there's no weird shape from the ombre. And then I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds. So here is where we are so far. Now we are ready for our encapsulating of our glitters and our ombre. So this is the clear polygel by Makarrt, and I don't know what it is about Makartt's clear polygel. I love all their polygel, but when it comes to their clear one, the formula is like chef's kiss. It like doesn't move unless you want it to move. It could be 1,000 degrees in your house and it's just gonna stay put. I don't know what they put in their clear formula, but I love it so much. So I'm just going to continue to smooth this out and work this polygel. And of course, just make sure that you are covering up the ombre portion of the nail. That way it doesn't get ruined during our filing. So just making sure that everything is super smooth and tight before curing this. And I'm not even going to tell you guys how long I'm going to cure. You can probably guess what I'm about to say. But just in case, I'm going to cure this for about 60 seconds. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought about putting like little flowers on the nails too, but I don't know. I feel like this was super cute as is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will leave everything that I used in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. And definitely let me know what you'd like to see next. And I will see you in the next one.